you're good.
You good? All right, I call to order the Millersville Board of Commissioners regular meeting Tuesday, October 19th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. If everyone would please stand for the invocation and the pledge. Pastor.
Let's pray together. Father, it's really a joy to be here this evening, and we thank you for each one who is here. We thank you for our amazing leaders in this city, and we pray, Father, for wisdom to give to them. Every single thing on this agenda is significant. Every decision made tonight will affect people in one way or the other. Father, give us wisdom to do the right thing, to do the most good we can while we have the opportunity. And Father, thank you for the freedom we have for our great nation. Keep us free, Father, and help us, Lord, to honor you in all of our ways. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 3, approval of minutes of the September 21st, 2021 regular commission meeting. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve the minutes of the September 21st, 2021 regular commission meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item number 4, approval of September 2021 financial report. Call for motion.
Move that we approve the September 2021 financial report as presented.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item number 5, review bids for Slaters Creek stabilization project. Mr. Colley?
On your packet, I've given you 3 bids that came in for the Slaters Creek Stream Bank Stabilization. Long Branch Construction, LLC from Greenbrier, Tennessee. Adams Contracting, LLC from Lexington, Kentucky. And Ron Mabry Construction of Columbia, Tennessee. The bids are Long Branch Constructions at $71,505.13. Adams Contracting is $136,737.50. Ron Mabry Construction is $154,681.20. And there was a correction on that Long Branch bid. It came in at 75, but it was corrected for some other issues on the bid process. So looks like Long Branch is the low bid. I will say this about Long Branch: if you all have been on Williamson Road, that stream stabilization project near 41 is the work that they've been doing. So just so if you want to see their handiwork, you can see it there.
And what was their bid?
Their bid is $71,505.13.
That's after corrections.
That's after corrections.
Do you need a motion to award the
I need
bid?
a motion to accept the bid on Long Branch Construction.
Is that, I've got a question. Is that for just Slaters Creek, or is that also Williamson Road?
No, that's just Slaters Creek.
Just Slaters Creek.
That's that one 80 linear feet of stream bank stabilization in that curve on Slaters Creek.
Okay.
The Williamson Road has not been processed and put out for bid yet.
Okay.
What's that? You want to move the motion? I move that we accept the bid as presented by City Manager Colley from Long Branch as the lowest and best bidder.
Second. Go ahead.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Item number 6 is a public hearing on ordinance 21-764, to amend the 2021-22 budget by $200,000 for professional and engineering design services for the Louisville Highway US 31W pedestrian improvement project. I'll now open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Item number 7, second reading of ordinance 21-764 to amend the 2021-22 budget by $200,000 for professional and engineering design services for the Louisville Highway US 31W pedestrian improvement project. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve on second reading ordinance 21-764, which is to amend the 2021-2022 budget by $200,000 for professional and engineering design services for the Louisville Highway, US Highway 31W pedestrian improvement project, otherwise known as the sidewalk project.
Second motion. I second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Anything else to be done before we get started, or is this all we're going to spend to get it started, Holly?
This is the phase that we're in right now. Next phase will be going out to purchase property, but that will be a different ordinance and a different amount of money. This is just for professional fees for engineering.
So we're going to spend probably some more money before we ever get started to get one
Yes.
purchased in property.
Yes.
So when do you think you're going to start talking to these people?
Well, we're in discussions with them right now.
Okay.
In fact, every week we're talking to the grant folks, engineers, and it's just a matter of the process getting through this phase and then going next to the property acquisition, and that will probably be one of the biggest parts of the. It'd be a large expenditure for that.
Do you have any idea when that might be?
No, I do not.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me make one point, and I think this came up in discussions. We have a deadline of, I think, July or September of 2022 to have this completed. There's no way we can get this completed by then. We might be lucky to even get construction started by then. So we have gone back to TDOT and to also the grant processors to ask for an extension, and we're working on that portion right now.
Anything further? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote, and it'll be a roll call vote. Commissioner Long.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bell.
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Gregory.
Aye.
Commissioner Template.
Aye.
Motion carries by unanimous vote. Item number 8, public hearing on ordinance 21-765, an ordinance of the City of Millersville to grant the non-exclusive right to Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation to install a cable system for a period of 10 years and providing compensation to the city. I'll now open for public hearing. Seeing no comments, I'll close the public hearing. Item number 9, second reading of ordinance 21-765, an ordinance of the City of Millersville to grant a non-exclusive right to Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation to install a cable system for a period of 10 years and providing compensation to the city. Call for a motion.
Move that we approve on second reading ordinance 21-765, which is an ordinance of the City of Millersville granting the non-exclusive right to Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation to install a cable system for a period of 10 years, thus providing compensation to the city and providing compensation to the city.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Who's going to be? Is it Comcast? Going to be the one that's
No.
who's answering to it?
CMC. Cumberland Electric.
Cumberland Electric.
Because I know they're putting it in, but who's service
Cumberland Electric.
all the way? Oh, I didn't know that. That's
It's
good.
their own brand.
That's good. I didn't know that.
It's called Cumberland Connect.
Yeah, they're going to be competitive.
Wow.
It's a alternative to Comcast.
alternative
A choice.
Competition.
competition.
It gives you something to choose from.
Gotcha. That's a good plan, good plan.
Anything further? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. It'll be a roll call vote. Commissioner Long,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell,
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Gregory,
Aye.
Commissioner Template.
Aye.
Motion carries by unanimous vote. Item number 10, second reading of ordinance 21-766 to amend ordinance 12607 personnel policy to revise and modify the city's of Millersville's policy and procedures manual, and a public hearing is not required so I'll call for a motion.
Move that we approve on second reading ordinance 21-766, which amends ordinance 12-607, the Millersville personnel policy. It is to revise and modify the City of Millersville's policy and procedures manual. And as the mayor noted, no public hearing is required.
I'll second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Let me make one comment. I sent you a new revised, hopefully final plan
Yeah.
of that today. We had some administrative issues that we had to clear up, some paragraphs that were duplicated, and table contents that had to be redone. So I've sent you a new revised copy. If anybody wants a paper copy, we'll make those for you. You have it on your laptop.
Yeah, I read it.
And I appreciate the help and the work on that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing none, do you have something?
Nuh-uh.
Hearing nothing else, I'll call for a vote, and it's a roll call vote. Commissioner Long,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Bell,
Aye.
I vote aye. Commissioner Gregory,
Aye.
Commissioner Template.
Aye.
Motion carries by unanimous vote. Item number 11 is citizens' comments. Anyone wishing to speak, raise your hand, address, and name. She beat you to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I am Tess Peters from the Millersville Public Library. I just wanted to advertise some of the things we've got going on this week. The city's putting on a fall fun fest, and we'll be there as well. It's the 23rd, it's Saturday. I'm also doing a trick or treat event on October 30th from 10:30 to 12 with the kiddos, crafts, and snacks. I've got calendars and flyers here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tess, that starts at 11
Charles
o'clock.
Anderson. Oh, I'm sorry.
That starts at 11 o'clock Saturday
Saturday, yes.
till about 3, 11 to 3, roughly.
Tentative 3, yeah, 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
And yeah, I was just going to say, Charles Anderson, 33rd Day Frontier Lane. I can't tell you, I had no idea that you guys had that CEMC, the Cumberland Connect, and I was just listening to your comments. That's going to be one of the best things for folks up here. I mean, we all use cable of some sort. We have had no choice. It's just been ridiculous.
True.
And they hold us hostage with that stuff. The Cumberland Connect, guys, I've done a lot of research on it, and you'll do your own. It's a fantastic product. I mean, it's going to deliver, and it's going to be nothing hidden. That's what you're going to know. No hidden fees, no hidden charges. You know what you're getting, and it is super fast.
Yeah, the builders for the last 10 years have been putting in the piping, because if you build a house, your son-in-law, there's already a pipe in the same ditch that's dedicated for that Cumberland Connect.
They did it on Skyline, and within 100 feet of my house, but that's a different grid, and didn't have a clue how that works, but so we're next, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna create some hard feelings between Cumberland Connect and Comcast, I can promise you.
So bad.
I will say though, I have that in my subdivision in Portland. I'm not on it, I'm still with Comcast, but from people that I've talked to, I've heard that the price is really not that much difference. But it is good to have a competitor.
It is. I pay a lot for AT&T. Does that include computer and TV?
Yes.
Yeah,
Pay
Yeah.
for
you
both.
get what you want.
Yeah, but-
Phones,
Just like
TV,
Comcast.
and Wi-Fi. It's all there.
Oh,
And it's
really?
fiber.
The problem's going to be that these builders have been putting these pipes in for 10 or 12 years, and a lot of individuals have run Comcast wires through those pipes, and Cumberland Connect is going to cut them and pull them out.
Is it from the street to the house or?
Usually,
Comes off the telephone pole.
wherever your service comes from on your
Telephone pole,
house,
yeah.
there's a pipe in for it.
I don't have a pipe. I put one in, I guess.
Cumberland Electric requires it. If you put in a service now,
Oh,
they
okay.
require the extra pipe.
Unfortunately, I have NES.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Well, that's good, because they came in after the fact.
Yeah, yours has got it.
They
Yours-
came in after the fact, though, Cumberland Electric did, and they installed it,
Yeah.
after the, so they had to bore underground and all.
But
that.
what I'm saying is your house,
Yeah,
it was required to put in your ditch from your house to your
yeah.
transformer.
I didn't know that.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Larry Petty, 105 Echo Lane. I have a question. In the planning commission the other night, we discussed a gentleman's potential over here to salvage a company that wants to, where Bobby Collins used to be years ago. And one of the stipulations was that he had to cover his gates with a tarp, well, not tarp, but mesh like up here at the bottom of the ridge. And,
Junkyard?
yeah, well, and the car lot, I mean, well, the second junkyard, what I was getting at, he doesn't have anything around his fence, and I thought when we give him permission or granted him usage of that junkyard, that he had to put, is it because he's selling now and then got rid of all of his junk, that he took his mesh cover down, or he just did it?
I have no idea.
Because if we're gonna do one or two, then everybody has to. If he's selling it as he is, and somebody comes in and buys it for that, you know what I'm saying? Could be. a little-
I don't know. I think the permit's expired on that junkyard, hasn't
I
it?
think that's the reason why, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
The permit has expired on that junkyard.
Permit had expired.
He's got it up for sale, so he's not renewing.
Okay, so he had it removed then.
He could remove it, yes.
I don't know
I
whether
don't
he
know
did
if
or not.
Well, it's gone. Whether he did or didn't, but it's gone.
Does Terry McClure still have his on his?
But
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Clear does. And just like I said, this new gentleman's gonna have to, if he wants to get, bid. I was just asking a question on that.
That's a good question. I appreciate it. That's great, yeah.
If we're gonna be fair with one, we need to be fair with all.
Anyone else? Item number 12, commissioners' comments. Anybody?
Mr. Long,
No.
I have nothing.
David?
I don't have anything.
I do. I guess I kind of I wanted to bring this up because I know it's been a back and forth battle. Nothing that I have voted on personally, but I have my own feelings about. But the building permits and the costs. I kind of feel like I can't speak on it. Like that's my background, economic development, building permits. But I can't talk about it because my husband is a builder and builds here. And so I guess, we live in a small community. I feel like I'm pretty transparent. If somebody has something to ask me, they're free to ask me. My husband and I are both open books. And if somebody has a question, I guess going forward, I feel like I am going to speak on these issues regardless. If the community wants to know, they can call me, they can come by my office. But I just feel like there's a lot of assumptions that have been made out there that aren't correct. And so going forward, I'll be as transparent. You can look at anything I have, any projects my husband does, there's nothing to hide, but I feel like, what's the point of being on the board if I can't give you my opinion or share with the community how I feel? That's all I really have to say.
I think you should.
Oh,
share
and
your
I also
opinion.
actually, because I couldn't feel like I could speak before, when we were going over the permit comparison, it just, because I felt like I couldn't say anything or ask questions. There's a lot of things in here I don't, Andrew's not here, I was hoping he'd be here. but there's impact fees in some and not in others. You know, really isn't any kind of explanation. I mean, those of us who build understand, but does everybody on the board understand, or have called, or talked to other builders, or, you know, understand how this permit stuff works, or do people just vote just to vote because it kind of looks good? You know, I mean, you look at the population of Millersville compared to the other comparisons here, and, you know, for me, my background's economic development, and we build and hold. That's what we do. And, you know, I just, going forward, you know, whether you're talking about the people next door that are doing their development, or us, we have a small, you know, people, I guess I'm just going to put it out there since this is what we're talking about. There's been some discussion of whether, you know, the reduction in building permits would benefit us. Well, I guess my transparent answer to that is, well, obviously, if we save $1, it's $1 saved. But overall, the impact on us personally as constituents and builders and business owners in Millersville, it really doesn't affect our bottom line a lot. And at the end of the day, it comes down to numbers. There's no emotion in it. There's no whatever. If the numbers work, great. If they don't, great. Then we move on to the next project. So, you know, for me, thinking about economic development and, you know, forward thinking for Millersville, you know, I think about the developers outside of us, because we're really small potatoes compared to the bigger people coming in, you know. And this is just my personal feeling, and I don't want to get into politics, outside of this. But, you know, with politics being where they are at and so uncertain, and, you know, people talk about a crash or not a crash, and depending on who you listen to and what you read, you know, it's kind of all over the board. So you take, you know, my thought was for when you guys were talking about a reduction that, you know, a developer like that's large like the people next door, or maybe the housing development over off of Bethel, you know, the political realm, how much it affects your bottom line, you know, giving somebody a reduction and saying you have X amount of time to start construction and incentivizing them to start now versus later. You know, you wait a year or two from now and they haven't started, they could just completely pull out of the project, or they could sell the project. I mean, there's just so many different things that can happen. So we bank on this, and in the meantime, we alienate a lot of other people. And again, you know, my husband and I even talked about, you know, saying, we won't take the reduction, you know, because we don't want anybody to say anything, because I want to be able to say something in these meetings, which doesn't seem fair, but, you know, at the same time, too, you know, we don't have anything to hide. So I guess they're just, being that I can't discuss anything or felt like I couldn't discuss anything, there was no other discussion. Nobody asked any other questions, and so I guess I'm asking at some point, maybe we revisit this or talk about this or whatever, but I guess I don't think, there's just too many questions that I'm surprised that nobody asked when they looked at this permit fee comparison. So that's all I have to say. And if anybody has anything they want to ask me, I'm all ears. I prefer somebody ask me personally than make assumptions that are dangerous and get ideas out there that aren't correct. And I think that's that's just not a good way to do business. So again, I'm an open book. If anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to learn how to run numbers on houses or land or anything, we'd be happy to show you so you understand. So I guess that's all I have to say.
All right, I've got a whole list of stuff I want to talk about. I'm going to start off with what the meaning of being a commissioner means to me. The meaning of being a commissioner to me is listening to the other commissioners, debating certain ideas, listening to the citizens in the city, see what's on their mind, trying to move the city forward in a positive way. Just in general, try listening to what everybody has to say before you just make a judgment. I've done a little research on what the duties of a commissioner are. The first one is we set the tax rates. We identify issues that need to be corrected within our city limits. Try to figure out how to address them, how to fix them. Act as a liaison between the city and the public to let the leadership of the city, which is Steve, know what the citizens are telling us and what they want. We set all the budgets. We set all the pay rates for the employees. We establish ordinances and laws for the city. We supervise our city mayor, our city judge, and our city manager. We don't supervise city employees. One of the biggest duties I feel like that comes along with the commissioner is to discuss and listen to all the ideas from other commissioners, citizens, and make the best decision for the city. This permit fee thing, in my opinion, has kind of split this board in half. My reasoning for asking for a reduction or a incentive on the permit fees, it started with the people next door right here. I know they're struggling with their numbers. Other cities have a lot of stuff that we don't have. They've already got their growth. They can set their permit fees wherever they want to. They don't necessarily need new business or new housing. They've got it. Well, we ain't quite got to that point yet. We're still in a growing stage. These permit fees, if you look at just the permit fees on that fee schedule, not the bottom numbers, not what the total number is, just the permit fees. The only city that has as high a rate as we do is Millersville. And you look at what Millersville's got that we don't have. Portland, they're 38 cents. We're 75 cents. White House is 24 cents. Galton is 27 cents. Hendersonville is 61 cents. So if we're not willing to actually debate these issues and look at all of the data that comes back, it does no good to bring the issues up. I've lived here my entire life. I've never lived more than a mile from where I live right now. I've been involved with this city in some form or fashion for over 35 years. A lot of that on the volunteer fire department, a lot of it sitting at this table. I have never not allowed anybody to have whatever say they want to have as long as they done it professionally. So leadership to me is not only looking out through the community and see what we need, but bringing ideas to this board. And in my opinion, if this board has lost confidence in me as a leader, then maybe it's time a couple of y'all get together and have that man at the end of the table put on the agenda to remove me from this seat, and then 3 of you put somebody else in this seat. And that's about all I got to say. City manager's comments.
I got a couple of quick things here. I mentioned that we have Mr. Austin Simmons here to meet with us in executive session after this. We're going to talk about the Stewart case. That's the eviction from the trailer. Also wanted to announce that we do have the gate up at Denson Road, and the signs have been installed. So Jerry and I tried it out today, and it's blocked. We couldn't get through. So I just want to let you know. So also, Jerry and I are also developing the street list for the next paving project, and talked to Roger Group today, And they think that the project would take them about a week. So sometime in mid-November, they will start to free up and have some time that they can jump on this project. But we have not finalized the road list yet, and we'll get that to you at the next work session. And that next work session is going to be on November 1st, which will be back on schedule for the first Monday. And I believe that's all I've got. And thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
We'll get them.
Adjourn to the next room.
Adjourn to the next room.
You too, thank you.